Hey everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse Marine, Sweet Street at Warners Bay, your Newcastle Honda Marine dealer. Thursday, guys, appropriately, we're down here at Pelican, right on Swansea Channel. This weekend, of course, the November prawn run. It's all going to happen out of here, and we'll give you some idea of what's happening in the next few moments. We're going to start out wide and give you an update on what's actually happening out on the shelf. We've got that big upwelling just up off Port Stephen, just north of the car park at Port Stephen, starting to move down. A good water temperature in around about 23 degrees and not a lot of current. There's around about 1.2 knots of current off our part of the coast where the water is still coming down, but that upwelling is slowly but surely coming down. So really over the next few days, you'll probably end up seeing it at sort of like the car park. It's around about 32, 45 or thereabouts now, so it is moving down. But that'll be that next surge of marlin, striped marlin and or blue marlin coming down. But there's yellowfin and dolphin fish there as well. So a lot of excitement with all this pelagic activity so early in the season, I might say. Down and on the farm area, down towards Texas, trag and a few reds and a few perch, and kings very, very difficult as we would have expected. So I think the farm, if you're going to go out there, maybe even worth a troll because of that water temperature, but there's not a lot of those deep water fish at present. And the same thing happening with offshore. It is still very, very dull, very doughy. Reds, a lot of flathead, which you'd expect, and just making up those catches with trevally and all the other bits and pieces just make up a feed. I think really where you've got to be is in here. Beaches, still salmon around, guys, but a few mile away now. That water temperature now increasing over 20 degrees and very, very clear. And the odd whiting, and there's a few very nice brim getting caught along there as well. If you're going to go down onto the rocks, of course, good opportunity. Still a few drummer and ludrick around, but again, you've got to have a look at those brim, and these flies are killing us down here at Pelican today. So let's get back into the estuary itself. So tides, basically you're looking at a 6 a.m. high tide Saturday morning and a noon low tide. So the key is you'll probably even get out tonight and you could have you could have a prawn in Swansea Channel down here. The tide will turn probably a good hour and a half before dark. Tomorrow, being Friday, you're really probably looking around about 3/4 of an hour to an hour before it changes. I think Saturday night's going to be perfect because the tide will turn after dark, and then as that tide starts to run out, probably around about 8:45, you'll start to see these prawns come down. The Mile River itself, the Mile Lakes, is been unbelievable the last few weeks of prawns. Had an opportunity to duck up last weekend as I was doing the report. We get about 15 kilo between the three of us. A very nice prawn, Duncan and Lucas Stansfield. We went up there, had a great time, and did a bit of bass fishing, which I was spruiking about. But unfortunately, Scotty and I really struggled. And of course, the reason there's not a lot of bass around at the moment is the silence that we're hearing. I haven't heard of a cicada down in our area, so I'm really looking out to you guys, our listeners, our viewers. Give us a yell if you've got cicadas in the area, because up at the Mile River, it is just dead quiet. And even down here at Swansea, normally with that sand and softer ground, we've normally got cicadas by now, but it is just dead quiet. So I'll be really interested to see some feedback on what's actually going on. We struggled. Scotty got one, we dropped a couple, and there was just nothing happening at all. It was beautiful, I must say. It was a great time, but just nothing. So the prawn run here is going to be the feature. Big whiting, really big whiting. I know I seen a post up by Cole Fraser, a good mate of ours. They were able to get out there last weekend in amongst the wind and bag limit catches of cracking whiting in amongst it. There are a few tailor guys in on the flats, and that's some of the reports that I got. Hilly gave me a report. Some really nice brim, only in the run-in tide, but tailor chopping him up along the way because he usually uses a fishy like mullet gut and strip mullet and all that sort of stuff. So anticipate if you're fishing for brim with strip bait, the tailor are going to be a nuisance. I just think it's all about tube worms. The guys, Brent and the boys down at New Age, hopefully they've got extra tube worms coming in for this weekend because there's going to be a lot of guys out here chasing those whiting, and a lot of those whiting, 36 to 40s. There's some better fish, but already they've started to pick up in really good conditions. So it's going to happen out here. Live prawns in particular, if you can have a bit of a prawn for the first, say, 2 or 3 hours, then branch off that and go back in and fish the last of the run out tide with live prawns and just float them back down, you really will catch some quality fish. Brim, of course, the bycatch, and obviously a few flathead. Now, if Wayne Flanagan was out there today, he gave me a tingle. worked the bait schools, and strangely enough in the morning it was just shut down period. But around about 11 a.m, as we started to get down to that low tide, it fired up. One fish over 75 centimetres, which we released of course, but we talked about it a bit last week as well. A lot of little flathead in that deep water, 45s to 50s, and that's the consistency which you see. I think some of the better fish will be here in the channel on that run out tide. So when that run out tide happens, and on the particularly early mornings when you can drift down here on that tide, that'll be the way to go. The other thing that's going to G itself up with this prawn run is the squid. The squid will then just suddenly start to switch on over the next, say, 7 to 10 days, and it will really push us through into that next moon phase. Drop over, western drop over, Murray's, but particularly the channel late next week is really my tip to get in there. Guys, all in all, it's going to be all about prawns. They'll be coming out of here. Remember, they're Eastern King prawns and they should be a bit of size. Looks good. Get out there this weekend. I'll see you then.